Hello and welcome to Happy Cells and Souls. My name is Julie Powers and I am a licensed Zumba instructor and I'm a business partner with the Juice Plus company. And my mission in life is to help people understand that life is better when they're dancing through it and to inspire healthy living. But my expanded mission is to create healthier cells at the cellular level and more joy at the cellular level. And I believe that we get one body while we're here, so we might as well take as good a care of it as we can. And we need to make sure that we are healthy and strong and happy and joyful. And so that brings us to these videos that I like to have conversations that are fun and educational and inspiring. And I've had so many fabulous relationships in my life where I've gotten to meet some people that I just think impact the world in positive ways. And so I believe that we all can learn from each other. And if we just have open hearts and open minds, and it doesn't matter what our religious views are, what our social background is, what our cultural background is, what our political beliefs are, everybody can learn from everyone else. We just have to keep an open mind. And so today I have the joy, because that is a theme today, is joy of talking with my friend Dar Geiger. And I met Dar, gosh, I can't even remember how many years ago it was, but I first was introduced to Dar through a program that I was in, and we were doing some fundraising for a program called Project Pink. And this was something that Dar was involved with, and we were helping raise money for women who had battled and won against breast cancer. And she's just one of the most magnificent women, and she loves to dance. And so we definitely had that shared moment. We could tell that we were, conjoined souls in dance. And but Dar has written a book, and I'd love for you to hold up the book. Reignite Your Joy. Let God lead your dance through life. Right?
Right.
Right. I got that right. And so, Dar, you are 78 years old. You're growing bolder, not older. And you had all kinds of amazing things that have happened in your life. And I'd love for us to talk about that a little bit. But one thing that I want to make sure that people understand is you're 78 and you just wrote your very first book.
I know, it's crazy.
And so I want to make sure that we get this message across that it doesn't matter if you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, because we
Right.
have a mutual friend who wrote a book when she was in her late 80s, right?
Yes.
And these are just amazing things because we can all still be productive and contribute to society and everything else around us, no matter how old we are. So, beautiful Dar, tell me, how did you end up writing this book and what is it really about?
Okay. How did I end up writing this book? For me, it was a miracle. I didn't plan on it, but I have had several people over the years say, gosh, you got quite a story of your life. Maybe you want to write a book sometime. But there was something preceded that, which is things changed in my business, my nutrition business that I own. And so that took place the end of June, and I met a person who started doing some wonderful coaching to help me find what's next, because I thought, okay, I'm still here, I'm healthy. How else can I contribute? What's my new purpose in life? And so my friend and I decided to start working on writing my story, my life story. We all have a book inside of us. Every one of us do. Our lives are a book. And so I decided that that was going to be a good thing for me to do, is to write about my life story. And it started out intentionally to be to leave a legacy for my family of my journey through life, the ups, the downs, and how I ran away from spiritual things. And as my life changed, I started running after spiritual things to feel more fulfilled and more purposeful. I really wanted to have a reason why I was getting up every morning. So that's a kind of it in a real short explanation
Right.
But so it happened, and I was led to the right publisher, and we started in July, and it was such a journey. It was so fun. Anyway, did that answer your question, Julie?
You bet. You know what? I think is so great because you're right. Every single person has a book inside of them. Their life story should be a book,
Mhm.
but only a tiny percentage of any of those people ever actually take the time to put it down on paper and to record their life story. And although this is not your entire life, it definitely encompasses your childhood with alcoholism in your family,
Mhm.
and your marriage and alcoholism in your marriage, and
Mhm.
overcoming that addiction, and after your husband passed, and loneliness, and meeting someone fabulous and new who became your new dance partner, and all of these things. I mean, what if you didn't write it down and then one day your story is lost?
Yeah.
So, like I said at the beginning, is every single one of us, we're on this planet once, right? We're just going to hang out here in this body. We need to be as healthy as possible, but we also have a purpose for being here, each one of us. And
Exactly.
so if we pass through life and we make that impact, that's great. But if we could take it one step farther and put a piece of our recorded history out there to help inspire even later generations, that's what you've done.
I think it's a blessing. I see that we're blessing my family, my children, my children's children, their children, to be able to see that there's a reason why we're here. And if we listen and trust, then great things can happen. And to leave a legacy like that of love and a journey of the ups and downs. But the word that comes to mind throughout this whole story of my life is resilience. There was a fight in me to want to make my life better, make myself better. And so going through all those trials made me stronger.
Right.
And I think that this is going to be a good example for my loved ones. Hopefully they'll learn, but also for others to know that there is stability and substance. There is joy in life. There's love. There's hope. There's good things that can come into your life if you are willing to seek the source, so to speak.
Well, and before we started the recording, we were talking about the fact that people ask me how I can be happy, even though my daughter passed away when she was 8 years old. And it was a long time ago now, 2007.
Yeah.
And I always say that I know that she is so much happier than she could ever be if she was still here with us.
Yeah.
And that I choose to be happy. And you constantly choose to be happy, and you have that joy and that laughter, and always finding that bubbly piece of life that just keeps coming up. um, so I think that it would be really great if you could kind of walk us through. I think you use a term in the book, GPS. We all know what a GPS is.
Yeah.
We would all be lost without it. We constantly have to recalibrate, recalibrate, rerouting.
Yeah.
But tell me what the GPS is in your book.
For me, I just felt it spiritually that God's the one that plans my steps. So it's God plans my steps. Because through my journey, I've learned that I've had to seek somebody greater than me to guide me, to love me the way the Bible says, to love me to fruition, to be a contributor, to grow, to change for good, and that my words, my walk would match my talk. But I do know this much in my family. I was raised in a family that we had that gift of playfulness, the young at heart attitude. We loved music. We loved to laugh. We loved to be silly. We could laugh at ourselves. And I mean, as a young family, I can remember us being in my living room playing music, and we were jumping to see who could jump the highest. It was crazy. So we did fun. We had fun
I would lose
memories.
that contest because my vertical leap is about a half an inch.
I know we can't jump that high, right? But or we sat around the table and imitated Elvis Presley. Who
Yeah.
could do the best imitation? Or my sister and I would joke about how we could learn talk all these different languages, and we just pretend that we knew how to talk Russian or French or
Right.
German or Italian. We
Sure.
just make it up. So it's the playfulness and learning to laugh at yourself. Don't take, I mean, I did take myself very seriously for a long time, and it was painful. So worrying about what other people think, and that's not what matters. That's not what matters. Is how is my life speaking to other people? How am I contributing? Um, what is my life saying to others in terms of inspiring and empowering them? And I've always had a love for women too. And so through the addiction process and helping other women, I learned that it was very rewarding to share my walk that they could relate to, they might be able to relate to, and it helped them and empowered them. And so I got that. I received it first, and then I wanted to pay it forward and help other women. So I have a natural love for people, all people, um, but to especially mentor. And it says that on the back of my book that
Well, and I think that your book really speaks, I would say, mainly to women.
yeah.
And I think that a lot of times women get so wrapped up in feeling like they're supposed to be everything to everybody, take care of the world, that they forget about themselves.
Mhm.
They tend to put themselves on the back burner. And then, as we know, if you don't fill your cup, you have nothing to pour out.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so, what you also are showing in your book is that I think you're giving people permission to look back and say, okay, that might be where I came from,
Mhm.
but this is where I am right now.
Yes.
And what am I going to do from this point forward to make my life have purpose for me and for others?
Mhm.
And so I like that you were very vulnerable in your book about the things that you went through and about the heartache that you went through with your husband
Yeah.
and through your cancer diagnosis and other pieces of your story. And I think that a lot of women can resonate with that. They can certainly find a lot of, I don't know, that feeling of sisterhood
Uh-huh.
with you. So, what was your favorite part of the book to write? Because you have scriptures kind of peppered throughout. You have things broken down into different themes along the way. But what was your most favorite?
And acronyms are a favorite thing of mine as well. But I want to make something clear. I didn't have to sit down and write. I do journal, and I have been journaling for decades. It's good therapy for me, and I recommend that in the book to write out your feelings and questions and that kind of thing. Um, but I found a publisher who let me talk my life.
Oh, that's
So,
great. Yeah.
oh my gosh, it was so exciting to be able to walk through my house, and I've got my headphones on and we're talking and he's taking in all the information about my life. So I had that freedom. I didn't have to think about it. Because I'm a pretty passionate person and a type A, uh, I could just speak out what the memories were coming in, and they organized everything in chronological order. So that was a gift, an amazing gift to me to be able to share my story and talk it and then work with the publisher and the way they put everything together. It was a, a joyful experience. So that might be the favorite part of,
Well, yeah, that's great. Just to be
right?
able to be free enough to not be sitting in front of a computer like this. Like,
Yeah,
now what? Now what
yeah,
do I say? Because
exactly.
sometimes our thoughts come so much faster than what we could ever type,
Oh
no
yeah,
matter how high of your speed is on keyboarding or whatever, your thoughts just go so much faster. So if you can just speak it out, no wonder you're also a speaker and not just an author.
uh,
And so, to be able to stand up in front of a group and share your story from the heart and show these women that they do have options.
Yeah.
Again, it doesn't matter if you're 78 years old. A
Doesn't
lot
matter.
Yeah, a lot of women think that when they get in their 70s and 80s that, well, it's just a matter of time now. I might as well just sit on the couch and
But
maybe go for a walk every now and then. No. Oh my gosh, we still have so many years left, right?
I will admit that those thoughts have come through my life. Yeah, those thoughts have come to me like, okay, do I have anything to contribute any longer? Probably for the last decade, I had been going through some of that in and out, like, God, help me grow gracefully. I really still want to contribute. I've got lots of energy and passion. To me, that's a gift to have so much passion. And I'd like to be able to give that away or sell it. Right? And you're the
That'd be
same
nice.
way, Julie.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, can we spread this around and give people hope and energy that there's lots of good stuff out there, and here's how you can do it. We got steps. There's steps and solutions. There's choices. We're not stuck, and that was something I learned in recovery. I wasn't stuck, but I
Right.
didn't know I had choices.
Right. Well, and it can be so devastating for people when they're in the middle of a crisis like that, whether it's an emergent kind of crisis or if it's a long-term chronic addiction or issue, and they do just feel, wow, now what? This is who I am. But you're right. At every single moment, we have that choice.
Well, and in Project Pink, the breast cancer organization that I'm an ambassador for, that you mentioned earlier, um, their thinking is the same way, to help the breast cancer woman to embrace her, give her encouragement, give her people that she can relate to, but also to how to nurture herself. And we do fun things. We've done socials and we've done lots of fun things where we laugh, because we all need that spirit of laughter and joy and community, right?
Right.
Community and support and that kind of thing. So there's many things that run together, I think, that help bring out happiness and fulfillment. But the biggest thing I learned in recovery was to give myself over to God and reach out to other people and help them. And that's why I have such a passion to do it, because it's very fulfilling to know that I'm adding value. How can I add value to other people?
Right.
And let's make this life worth something, because that's why we're here. There's a reason.
Absolutely. And while you were talking, it made me think of something. When we're really down, sometimes people feel like, well, all I want to do is be around other people who are down. I want them to just soak up my misery and I want them to be as miserable as me.
So true.
But I think that for the most part, somebody who is feeling very down for whatever reason, they want and they need those people who can bring the light, bring the joy, bring the positivity, and they watch for that to come into their life so that they can see that there is hope, that they do have something to live for and to be striving toward is the light, because nothing else drives out darkness but light, right?
Right.
And that's true in so many different areas of life. But I mean, if I were lying in a bed and very sick and I was going to be there for a long time, I wouldn't want my friends to come and visit me and just sit and cry.
No.
I would want them to come and entertain me and make me laugh.
So true. So true. Another component, and probably a number one component for me, is gratitude, because I had to learn how to find something to be grateful for, because when I first got into the 12-step program, I was very negative and I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see any light.
Right.
So that kind of community helped me learn how to be grateful by using the serenity prayer. And I don't know if you're familiar with it, but God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I can't change, courage to change what I can, and wisdom to know the difference.
Absolutely.
So, boy, that was such a lesson to learn about what I'm in control of and what I'm not. And then I could start seeing the things that I could be grateful for, like, oh my gosh, my feet are on the floor today. I'm still alive, right?
Yes, exactly.
It
Exactly.
started like that, little baby steps about learning how to let go of what I can't control of and ask for help, ask a power greater than me for help and show me there's a whole lot to be grateful for. Asking for awarenesses is what I did. And that's my book talks about is ask, seek, knock, and search. There's treasures. There are treasures there in the spiritual realm that a lot of people don't know about.
And there are treasures everywhere if we just stay open to receiving them. And one of the treasures that I think that people do have every opportunity to grab is your book. And they can get that on Amazon, right?
That's right. And
Uh,
today I found out from my publisher that if people like Kindle, they like to read on Amazon, you go to Dar Geiger, Reignite Your Joy. Actually, the site is reigniteyourjoybook.com, and that'll take you right to Amazon. But the Kindle is 99 cents. And if this video goes out after today, then it's not going, no, it will no longer be in effect. So I just realized that.
yeah, it's all right. It's, whatever it's going to be, because it will not be going out the day that we're recording this.
Oh, okay.
But they can still go to reigniteyourjoybook.com,
Mhm.
and that's your author site, and they can find out more about the book. And what is the name of your Facebook group?
It's Dar Geiger, author speaker. And
Okay.
I would love for people to like that page. It will bring it more in, just in sight for people
Sure.
to see. I really think that people need laughter and joy and something to hope for. They need substance and stability today,
Absolutely. So
right?
I'm going to
Oh,
put all that information in the notes below
but
this for or above, depending on what you're reading this on and viewing this on. And so I would really encourage you, if you're watching this and you have not read her book yet, please get Reignite Your Joy by Dar Geiger. And thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your time with me today and with whoever it is that happens to be seeing this video. Thank you.
you are so special, Julie. God bless you. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much for your heart for others. Thank you.